Well, I thought that was an unfortunate comment that she made because it is in fact true that the people who are poor, people who are low income, who have fewer resources, do get hit first and worst in any catastrophe, ecological or otherwise. All you have to do is remember Katrina. The rich people were able to leave. The poor people weren't able to leave, and they wound up on rooftops. We had a free market evacuation plan in New Orleans where wealthy people were able to fill their cars up with gas, use a credit card, get out of town, stay in a hotel. Poor people, they were 3 days away from payday, they weren't able to leave, and they were left stuck on rooftops. That is a metaphor for the kinds of impacts for poor people if we have runaway climate disruption. I'm not saying that Katrina was an instance of global warming. I'm just saying that kind of storm, those kinds of events are predicted to be a part of a hotter climate and a more carbon-intensive climate, and we got to take that seriously. So I thought it was an unfortunate comment that she made. I would think by this point in California, most people understand that we don't want poor people to get hit first and worst for the downside of global warming. We also don't want them to benefit last and least from the upside of greening up the economy. And so we want to make sure that we have equal protection for poor people, low-income people, and we also want to have equal opportunity to the jobs that are coming. And I think California will be a stronger state if we do that. Well, I think that Governor Brown should immediately take all steps to begin to deploy the renewable technologies that we already have. We can give people opportunities to build companies putting up solar panels right now on homes, which will create renewable energy and also create jobs. So you'll be fighting global warming and the global recession at the same time. And you can do it at no cost to the taxpayer by having something called a feed-in tariff. You can look that up online, which is a very smart policy that just helps utility companies cut deals with homeowners to buy their solar power. These are very simple, smart things we can do to use the renewable energy resources we have in our state, to use our entrepreneurs, to put people to work, and to stay in the lead. That would be the first thing I think you should do. Well, what we know about climate change is that it's a political issue, it's a moral issue, it's an economic issue, it's an environmental issue. It's also a public health issue. When you're talking about possible spikes in heat, where people in places like I believe Chicago, there was this huge heat wave and people died in their homes. People died in their homes in Europe in extraordinary numbers with these kind of heat waves and heat spikes. The water table dropping and water quality going down. You have a number of health impacts for people that are predicted. We've got to be able to deal with that very seriously. This is the one thing that we should not make a partisan issue. People in both parties, people in red states and blue states, people in red California and blue California, all have to we're going to be living in a state, if we don't do something, where jobs are going down, temperatures are going up, the waters are rising, and the opportunities are falling. We can fix that by putting Californians to work in clean energy industries that frankly would let us become an exporter, not just of ideas but also of manufactured products like wind turbines, and help to green up the world and put a bunch of money in our own pockets. So this is the way forward. I believe that Governor Brown understands that. I think most Californians understand that. I just hope that as the new administration coming in recognizes that we have a special moral obligation to the poor. We shouldn't have any throwaway resources, throwaway species, throwaway stuff, but we also shouldn't have any throwaway people, and we shouldn't have any throwaway children. And that should be just as much a part of our climate policy as anything else.